Welcome back, boys and girls, to another episode of K-Fave Comparisons. My name is Mr. Knowitall, Daniel John Schafer, and I am joined here by the rest of the K-Fave crew. Introducing first, he is finally home from his long stint out west. He is the king of the K-Fave kickflip, Mr. Wex breakin Lawson. Wex, how you living today, bud?
Living pretty good. Like you said, glad to be back from my long extended vacation. What's today? Thursday. 4 days no drinking now since been doing some no weekday drinking.
Good for you.
So I'm definitely looking forward to that Friday beer tomorrow. But
I am I'm drinking, but it's a little different now. I gave myself limits. I'm doing tequila. Apparently, it's better for you health wise.
That's what I've been on for the past year. So that's why I feel like I haven't been as fucked up as I could have been.
Yeah, true. So I do 2 shots of tequila and 2 LaCroix in like a big ass mason jar, and like that's it. That's all you can have. Like that's it.
Usually that third shot is what really gets me going. The third.
That's what I'm saying though. I agree. That's why I was like, you know what? If I just keep it at 2, I'll feel. And I feel. I mean, look at my face. I feel I have more color in my face. Like,
oh yeah, I feel way better.
Getting better.
Yeah, same here. Because literally, I was drinking like every night after work, like just drinking when I get off, and I can definitely tell the difference right here from 4 days. And on that cruise, that's all I did was fucking drink. So,
and also we can't forget the great, the one and only, the spectacular Vernacular. Mr. Jesse Baker is here with us as well. Jesse, you look great. You look fantastic.
Oh, yeah, I look awesome. Guy decided to make the choice for me today by not letting my camera work. So that works. But, hey, you can still hear, and that's what's important. But, I actually haven't really been drinking too much of the booze either. It's been like maybe a couple of beers every couple of days kind of thing. We went a little hard on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, naturally, as one does.
Yeah, me too. That was my last night, and man, I felt like shit the next day.
Yeah, luckily we didn't have shit to do, so it worked out just dandy.
Nice indeed. Yeah, it's definitely a good idea to kind of quell that old alcohol monster.
Yeah. A little weekend warrior stuff, you know?
Yeah. You gotta, just live it up big on the weekends, and have a good time, and just keep yourself in shape too. Like I'm drinking bone broth in the morning instead of coffee now, and I'm taking
bone broth, like for like some ramen noodle bone broth.
Yeah, like actual like organic
good as
bone
fuck.
broth. It's good. Really, really good. Yeah, it's actually super, super good for you, and it's like I feel infinitely better. Like my muscles aren't as tight. My mood, like I'm just happier. Like it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get back on a more of like an exercise routine starting next week, because it literally took me until maybe yesterday to get adjusted back to the Tennessee time. Because
yes,
it had me off as fuck.
Yeah, the workout routine resumes on Monday. I've had some time off, so workout routine resumes on Monday. Yeah, and I'm doing like the I can't remember the name of that guy, but it's like an old dude. Anyway, it's like all calisthenics. It's like, you do different sets. Like you just start with like one set, so you're not like blowing your muscles out. But it's like 25 push-ups, 25 sit-ups, 25 squats.
I'm going to do some like that. Maybe get back on the DDP yoga, something low impact, because ever since I hurt my shoulder, I can't like lift weights anymore. So I'm just going to have to switch it up.
Yeah. I like the calisthenics.
Try to get on that Billy Blake's Tybo kick, dude. Bring it back.
Hell yeah, I remember having to do a Tybo routine in fucking high school.
That sounds awesome.
You'll I'll let you know when I do it, which will be never.
Oh, come on, man. That's some good content right there. I think that's your like YouTube calling probably, Yeah, man, but it's been a wild world. Like, to be completely honest with you guys, again, like I have paid attention to headlines. I'm looking at highlights, but I have not watched a wrestling show in a long time. Like it's been a long time, guys. So
I haven't either, actually.
Wex, catch me up, man. What's been going on in AEW? I know you're devout.
Oh yeah, I watched it last night. I actually watched it on one of my flights because they have free TV.
How's the new set?
Well, the new set looks pretty fucking cool. And last night's episode was a pretty solid episode. I know the ratings apparently were a little bit lower than the like week before or whatever, but I thought it was a really good show. Chris Jericho versus Ricky Starks, fucking great match. Great match. And I really thought Chris Jericho, they had me thinking Jericho was going to win, even though I knew he wasn't, but still. Yeah. It was great. Main event, the TNT Championship, Darby Allin versus Samoa Joe. That was fucking fantastic. Darby won the title in his hometown.
I saw some clips from that. It looked pretty badass.
Yeah, it was great. And they worked me. He like did this dive off the ladder at the beginning and like tweaked his knee, kayfabe, and like I did the way I was like, oh man, I think he really fucked up his knee, but they sold it really well.
That's always good, man. When you can really pull off the swindle, that's good stuff. That's the good stuff.
And then the whole MJF Bryan Danielson stuff was good. Basically, they essentially set up what's going to happen at the next pay-per-view Revolution.
Yes.
If Danielson wins a certain amount of matches, then MJF will agree to the title shot. You know, MJF's classic, do a bunch of shit to get a title shot. But Bryan said, I'll do that, but you have to agree to my stipulation, an Iron Man match.
Ooh.
So it's going to be Danielson versus MJF Iron Man match. It's going to be great.
It's going to be really good. That's going to be really good. Yeah, I'm very excited about that, man. MJF is so underrated in the ring. I mean, if you're going to have an Iron Man match with somebody, Danielson's the guy. I mean, has to be, right?
Because his whole thing is like, you're not a real wrestler. I'm going to expose you.
I love to see it. I love to see it.
Me too.
I'm excited about it. So when is that pay-per-view? Do you know? Is that like next month or?
Should be like tail end of February, usually something like that. Like mid to late February is normally when they do it.
Got it. Well, I heard they've already spoiled. Like, okay, listen. This is my little rant. How do you already ruin the Cody Rhodes return?
They spoiled it?
Yeah. They're like, oh, he's coming back. They're starting to like push bumpers. And I'm like, why? Why would you do that? Like, just put him in the Royal Rumble. It's so close, guys. Like, it's so close. Like, just put him in the why? Why would you take that away?
And everyone loves a surprise return.
Like, I mean, look, maybe there's a whole different strategy behind it. What if Cody doesn't go into the Rumble? What if his return on TV leads to a completely different match? And then he's not in the Rumble at all and somehow still makes his way to Mania.
Ooh, what if this is a way to get one of the belts off of Roman?
That would be great.
That's actually smart. Okay, you're right. You know what? I should let it play out. Good call, Jesse. Because I couldn't see the other side of the coin. I was like, why would – because, I mean, okay, I guess it's fair to say that we're all kind of expecting Cody Rhodes to return at the Royal Rumble. So I get that, like, doing something different is something different. And if it's good creative, then that's awesome. And that's always better than what is expected. Or is it? You know what I mean? Like, so it's like this could be a great idea. He could even win the title, but it's like, would it have been better? Would it actually have been better if he had just shown up at the Rumble? You know what I mean? Like that moment specifically.
They've spoiled a couple of bigger returns before, pretty much. Like, you know, Triple H and Edge, both pretty much everybody knew. John Cena, I think everybody knew, you know, when they were all coming back from injury and stuff. I do think, obviously, the pop for the surprise is one thing. I obviously get off on that. But you also have to look at the landscape of WWE on television right now. What all of the fucking shambles of the company, especially now, which we'll get into in a minute. But, like, right now, they don't want to piss off their networks. Their rights deals come up in 2024. They have to renegotiate. So it's one of those
summer 2024 though. So they really have like a year and a half. They got more time than people are trying to give them credit for.
They do, but at the same time, it's like they want those buy rates up on Peacock. They want to be able to advertise a guy like Cody for fucking Raw. They want USA Network to be pleased because NXT up like this week is the first week that their ratings have gone up in a really long time.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think there's strategy there, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, but the thing is too is that like I don't know. I feel like still that idea of I know it's supporting the ratings and they have to because their TV deal's coming up. I understand all that, but I still feel like it's you're taking as the mark in me is like, well, I get the business behind it, but I don't like it. You know what I mean? Like I would rather see just the surprise at Rumble. You know,
the thing is like. Also, from their perspective, the amount of people that tune into Rumble, the amount of people that see the ads or that sub to Peacock for it or any of the following, is it going to be negatively affected regardless of what they do with Cody Rhodes? I don't think so. I think either way, like at the worst case scenario, they may get some more casual viewers that tune in just because they know he's coming back.
Okay. So before we get into like real shit and like the company and the big headlines, right? Let's do some fantasy book and let's just go ahead and bunny trail right here then. So since we're not going to get this Cody Rhodes quote unquote surprise, mainstream surprise return, who's there's always at least 2, if not 3 surprise entrants. Who would that be? Do you guys think?
I hate to say, I think they're going to pull Booker T.
That's okay. That's a good one. And I'm not fine with that. I'd like to see that.
I would say maybe somebody like a Ricky Steamboat, since he's done his little like return tour thing. Maybe a Great Muta.
He already said no. Steamboat already said no.
Steamboat said no, but man, Muta now that
Muta's on his like little retirement tour, and that'd be a good surprise entrant.
It'd be a good one. It'd be a good one. God, I'm trying to think of guys that are like even available right now.
Here's the other thing that we're not thinking about. They just let Carl Anderson to New Japan. Nobody really knows what's up with Banks' deal. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's some stuff we don't know involving WWE behind the scenes on that too. I really wouldn't. But I'm kind of wondering if maybe their favor of sending Carl back for the Wrestle Kingdom show, that we may just see a completely unexpected New Japan person.
Like an Okada or something like that?
Maybe. I mean, Okada seems to be the best fit for the E, but like I could see Jay White working out really well. I could see Tanahashi be cool.
Yeah. I could never see I don't see Okada doing it, but maybe somebody like a Tanahashi.
I genuinely think that there's more it would make more business sense to have an Okada than it would be to have a Great Muta. Because the nostalgia there for, Bruce talks about it all the time. Like WWE fans aren't all universal wrestling fans. Like they watch WWE. Like they might be devout and know it, but like there are, and I would say that the majority of that is true. Like not for people like us who nitpick and talk on a podcast, but I'd say the majority of people that is true. So it's like Muta. I don't know. I think there'd be more. I genuinely think there'd be more value in Okada because I feel like you could do more with it, and Muta would be like a one-off thing. I don't know. But you could be totally
Okada
right.
and Kenny Omega actually just tag teamed together in New Japan, like for their New Year's Dash show.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, the whole Sasha Banks thing, if she was still good with WWE, she would have still been Sasha Banks. I don't think she would have had a whole new name, a whole new persona.
Yeah, that's bad branding.
I don't know, man. I kind of wondering if it's not. It just seems to me like one of those things that is possible, and I don't know if they would make it so obvious. You know what I mean? Because if you came out with Sasha Banks, everybody would fucking know. Like Carl Anderson is.
I'd be the first person to be like, if she's using the name, she's still with the E. Like, there's no way around it.
I mean, everybody else has. I mean, like Chris Jericho. I mean, when he was still in good graces with WWE and made appearances after his first Wrestle Kingdom appearance, he was still just.
Yeah, but Chris Jericho is grandfathered in. He was like, you know what I mean? Like he had a trademark on his name from the beginning, like from the 90s, like before he was ever in the E.
It's like the same as AJ.
He's talked about this before on his podcast, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be the same as AJ Styles or the same like even with Carl Anderson. It's like they don't own the fucking trademark Carl Anderson.
Hulk Hogan, that's a prime example.
Yeah, totally. So
Hulk Hogan.
I don't know who the fuck let her dye her hair like that. By the way.
Yeah, it does. It straight up looks like a kid's menu. Like they give you the 3 colors in like the little like packet. You know what I mean? Like the 3 crate, like the red, yellow, and blue. And like it's like the kid just doesn't color inside the lines. And like,
are you talking about Mercedes Monet's hair?
Yes.
That wasn't her hair. That was a fucking wig.
Of course it was.
Either fucking. Yeah, that's not the point.
Yes, the hair she was choosing to wear.
Yeah, because it looked weird. You had to do something that stands out. I get it.
It looked like if you found an old, decrepit birth certificate in your attic.
Yeah.
It was just rotted through in the middle.
It's funny. I actually have a really old, fucked up birth certificate right here. We had to take it on the cruise. So
there you go.
I understand. But, hey, my opinion is that she's going to be with, like, New Japan. Maybe – I don't see her signing with AEW, but I can see her doing, like, a one-off or, like, a single shot or something like that.
Oh, she's not signing long-term anywhere, man.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Why would she
be like Hollywood, dude?
Yeah, she's going Hollywood for sure.
Which makes sense. Fuck, she's already in Mandalorian and doing runway model shows and shit. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, speaking of, you see that Rian Johnson said that Batista was the best wrestler turned actor, and I think like The Rock and some other people got salty. But Batista does have the biggest range of roles. The Rock just plays the same guy in every fucking movie.
Yeah, The Rock's just The Rock. Like,
yeah, he's The Rock. Yeah, he's just The Rock in all of his movies. Batista at least has done
Peacemaker.
All he has a little range.
Peacemaker.
John. I think John Cena's a better.
John Cena's better than Dave Bautista. And I'm going to say that right here on this podcast. John Cena is a better actor.
He's a better actor than The Rock because The Rock just plays the same character.
See, I don't think that that's fair. Just because. Okay, so like that just. I mean, that's. But a lot of people do that. Like I don't know that I'm not an actual actor, so I don't know the term. But it's like I know that method acting is like.
It's called a character actor.
Yes,
a character actor where you pretty much. Yeah.
But that's not always a negative thing. You know what I'm saying? Like Harrison Ford is kind of a character actor, but he's
Steve
a fucking
Buscemi's
great
kind of a
actor.
character actor.
Robert De Niro is kind of a character actor, but he's a great actor. You know what I'm saying? Like
Danny McBride plays the same role in everything, and he's fucking brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, or Seth, whoever. Like, we can go comedy all day, but like Arnold, Sylvester, which is what I mean. None of those guys aren't great actors.
No, Arnold. Yeah, dude, Arnold is just the same character in every movie.
What I'm saying is, I think that The Rock is better than Arnold. I think The Rock is better than Sylvester Stallone. I think that he's better.
Let me say
I don't know
this.
if he's better than Dave Bautista, though. Honestly, I don't know if he is.
Let me say this about The Rock. All those other people you mentioned, they have legendary movies that we'll always remember forever. How many legendary movies of The Rock's you're going to be like, oh, yeah, that one's fucking good. Besides Moana, he contributed Moana, but besides that, can you really think of a Rock movie that you're just like, oh, that's an all-time classic action movie, and I'll watch that anytime?
I think that we're old, too, but like, so when we think of Jumanji, like, immediately nothing will ever beat the Robin Williams version, ever. But those movies are pretty good. Like, as far as like family sitcom, like they're iconic. I shouldn't say good. They're like iconic. Like, and
not because of The Rock. They're funny because of the other people, I think.
Well,
to be honest,
I don't know. Central Intelligence is
foil, but the other people in the movie make it good. But I don't know.
I think The Rock is not bad. That's what I'm saying.
Like,
I don't think
The Rock doesn't have a Terminator or a Rocky. He doesn't have a movie like that. He
definitely wanted Black Adam to be his Terminator franchise. That's what he wanted so bad.
Bad, bro, because it was terrible.
Okay, it's on HBO Max, and I still haven't watched it because it's like 3 hours long, and I gotta have time to sit down and watch this shit.
It wasn't very good.
Yeah, I was disappointed in myself that I took the time after about the first hour.
It was.
Hey, the new Avatar is 3 hours, and that's pretty good.
It's damn good. I don't care what any of the critics say. I saw it in the theater, and it was phenomenal. I loved it.
I literally watched the first one for the first time on the cruise ship, and I was like, oh, shit, the new one's out. Let's go see it was fucking good. It was a good movie.
Perfect. And you got to do that, too, by the way. It's like if you haven't seen Avatar in a very long time and then you go see it, you might be out, to be honest with you. But go back and watch Avatar 1 first, like within a couple days. And then
that's pretty much what I did.
Absolutely fall in love.
It was great.
I never saw either one of them.
You should.
They're good.
I know you have Disney Plus. Everybody does.
It's true.
I never watched the first one because like everyone hyped it up super hard. And they were just like, "Oh, it's so good." And when people overhype shit, I can't enjoy. I'm just like, "Nah, I'm not gonna watch it."
Out of all the movies on Disney Plus, Avatar is one of them.
Hey, when the Dark Knight came out, I didn't watch it when it was in theaters or anything. I watched it like a year later. Everyone was like, "It's so good," and I was like,
when that hype, I was on. Honestly, like that was one of the hype train. I was on that train. I was like, "Oh, this movie's so good." Like I was told everyone.
It's a great movie, and when I finally saw it, but I was like, "Y'all are hyping it up too much for me. I'm gonna get disappointed if it's not as good as you're saying it is."
I mean, honestly, dude, it is undeniably the best DC movie of all time. It's definitely top 5 best superhero movie of all time.
Probably the best Batman movie for sure.
It's the best Batman movie of all time. Even though
it's really good. The new one was really good, but
I put Returns up there. But again, that might be just a generational thing. But
for sure, no, Keaton's my favorite Batman, no doubt. Like Keaton is Batman to me.
Y'all might.
I would say Batman 1. Like to me, it's like Dark Knight
is Batman and Robin. I love that one because it came out when I was a kid. And it's fucking cheesy. It's like
speaking of fucking Arnold, bro.
It's like I feel like it's like the Adam West Batman, but just like with a higher budget. Like it's just cheesy as fuck and great.
I feel like I can't side with him anymore. I feel like I can't side with you anymore on opinions.
No, I didn't say it's the best. I know it's cheesy and bad, but I'm saying personally, I just love that movie because as a kid, it's just one of those ones like Space Jam or Power Rangers. The movie. There's subjective
Batman
bad
forever
movies,
and I would have been like, okay, I get it, not great, but Jim Carrey's awesome in it. Not a great movie, but Jim Carrey is incredible. And we get Robin for the first time.
Yeah.
That's cool. But, nah, dude. The Cloon cannot be Batman.
Like I said, it's
I like George. I like George.
Bad movie.
I feel like we're buddies. In my head, we're buddies. So,
I mean, the Bane thing alone would have made it unwatchable. You know what I mean?
The hot air balloon Bane?
Yeah.
God.
Dude, my favorite part of that movie is just all of the bad ice puns from Mr. Freeze. It's so fucking hilarious.
Chill.
It starts out with him playing hockey with a fucking diamond.
Yeah, I remember that, dude. I had the toy of the little fucking hockey. Like, I love that movie as a fucking kid. But like I said, just like Power Rangers, the movie, it's fucking horrible, but I loved it. And Space Jam. Space Jam's really a bad movie, but it's great.
Yeah, I mean, anyway, I don't know if Batista is a better actor than The Rock.
What a bunny trail.
Or even Hulk Hogan, to be honest with you, man. I mean, who knows, man? I mean, No Holds Barred is just a cinematic gem.
Hey, Three Ninjas High Noon at Mega Mountain, one of my favorite movies also as a kid, which is also a bad movie, but it's great.
But Three Ninjas, just the Three Ninjas?
Oh, yeah.
Phenomenal
One and two,
phenomenal
man.
movie. Like, no one will argue with me on that. Like, it's a great movie. To this day, I can watch it as a grown-up and be entertained as a grown-up. It's a good movie.
Just like the first live-action Ninja Turtles, the first one is fucking great.
That is a classic, and anyone that disparages it, I will not have it. I will not have it. It's a fantastic, fantastic movie. 2
and 3, not as good, but
it's the best Ninja Turtles movie ever made, for sure. 3 was not bad, though.
3 was not bad. It was just different and weird. 2 sucked because they took out all the violence and you just got Vanilla Ice and Kevin Nash. That's about it.
As a child, I loved the second movie.
But go Ninja, go Ninja, go.
Yeah. Oh, it was good stuff with Vanilla Ice and
Kevin Nash is in it, so that's how it's related to wrestling.
Yeah,
Indeed. It sure is.
It was good. Hey guys, we're keeping it meta. I love this.
Super Shredder.
We're staying on point. Okay.
Hey, don't talk about acting real enough though. Speaking of better than The Rock, I'm gonna go fucking Roddy Piper.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they live.
But Roddy Piper was a good actor. Like he was an actual he could do multiple things.
See, I think Batista might have it in him too.
Okay. I mean, he's done different.
Like
have you watched his shit? I've seen him do some serious roles. So,
see, in my mind, me and Dave are just not buddies. Like we're just not.
Is it the belly button tattoo? Is that what did it for you?
It's you know what? It's not just that, but it definitely contributes.
It's got to be okay.
It definitely contributes. And also like just the pencil thin like little flavor saver down into the goatee that he had for a long time.
Oh yeah,
not a fan. Felt real.
He should have kept the fucking Leviathan gimmick where he like was fucking looked all badass and evil.
Yeah, that was better.
Demon of the Deep.
Yeah, Demon of the Deep. Demon of the Deep. Yeah, I don't know, man. But I would love to see Sasha Banks, or what is it, Mercedes Moné now?
Yeah.
Mercedes Moné. Ooh, I like that. It's better. Did she just go by what's her actual last name?
Vernado.
Yeah. That's what she just goes by like. But she doesn't use this in like movies too, right? Because people do that.
Mercedes Moné is strictly a wrestling name.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm good with it.
Yeah, works.
I mean, yeah, I wish it could have just been Banks. I feel like that would have been baller. But
that would have been cool.
Or Sasha Moné.
So sick. Just drop Sasha, just be Banks and just live up the money gimmick. That would have been so good. But whatever. Missed opportunity, boys. All right, let's talk about the meat and potatoes, man. Let's talk about the craziness that's happening with the senile old. I feel like we're literally watching a Attitude Era storyline happen in the Wall Street Journal.
The way it's playing out, dude. Yeah, it is.
It's straight up he's just so angry that he's not there. That he's like, I'm gonna kill I'm just going to sell it off. I'm going to fuck these people. I'm out. I'm going to find my way in. By the way, this is all projecting. There's no way the board and the SEC is going to allow that to happen. It's just not going to happen. He's not going to get in. There's no way. There's just no way it's going to happen.
So for everybody that hasn't really read the article yet, so the Wall Street Journal pretty much said that he wants to vote himself and the 2 people that he fired when he brought in Nick Khan, Michelle whatever and the other dude
Barrios and Michelle something.
Yeah, but the 2 dudes that the 2 people they fired over the whole WWE network dispute and brought in Nick Khan, he's voting to bring them back, and if the board doesn't vote to bring them back, basically he won't let them sell or do any negotiations, and they got their TV deal coming up like we said earlier, in about a year and a half, and he wants to come in, do a review and sell the company, but he's basically holding them hostage saying I won't approve any deals, negotiations, sales or anything unless I'm back in power. And nobody wants him back.
The majority stock B shareholder, if I'm not mistaken. So there is some truth to him being able to hold out.
Yes. He's still the majority share. He's still the majority shareholder. Yeah,
and then it'll go into litigation and eventually he'll die.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. That's what's going to happen. It's not going to settle. He's going to go down fighting, but he's going to go down.
That's just such disappointing news to hear. Him
really
coming
matters
back when
even in the court of
WWE
law.
Has been on the up lately since he left, and now it's just fuck, old man, are you really trying to do this?
He can't live without it, dude. I mean, part of me is like, dude, you were ousted from your entire life's work. Maybe you shouldn't have been such a prick and done such shitty things. That's a fair assessment. But like, I don't know how you can possibly we all said it. I was like, what does he do? Does he go fishing? Does he travel? Like, no. Like, what else? Like, he has got to be losing his mind. Like, he probably still goes to the gym at 4 a.m. every day. And he does not care about his reputation at this point, clearly. So it's like, I will watch the world burn to get my one thing back. And I think he would literally watch the country burn if it meant he could get WWE back. Like,
he's like Jeff Jarretting his own company. He's like holding them up for fucking like just to get his way. And it's just one of those things that
it's not about the money too, because they've offered to buy him out, and he's like, no, I want to sell the company. I don't want you people to have it. That's it's like, petty is what it is.
All his kids are already making money off of it. Doesn't fucking matter to him. You know what I mean? Like, that'd be the only reason for him to even want to. Like,
right. The reason why he wants to sell is because he is pissed about this whole thing.
He's mad that he's not there, and he wants to weasel his way back in, make a whole bunch of money, and then probably, of course,
I really don't think he gives a shit about the money, guys.
Like, I don't either. I think when it
so
comes
old,
down to it,
like,
I don't think the money matters at all. I think what it really comes down to is like what happens with the company, what happens with the TV rights, and eventually, if it does have to sell without his supervision, my theory is that he really wants to be in control of who is buying it, like who's negotiating it, how it does go on. Because here's the thing. If they sell it, it is going to go on. It's not going to get absorbed into something else. If it does, if it sells to a Disney or an Amazon, like everybody has been theorizing for so fucking long, it's still going to be called World Wrestling Entertainment.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't like a WCW thing, and it never will be. So I think
the product's too valuable.
Yeah. And I think there's a big part of that too, where he's like, wants to be in the director's share of who takes it over. And like, I don't think that he trusts Hunter, frankly. You know what I mean? Like, not
hell no, he doesn't. He wouldn't let him take over. Like, he was supposed to be the guy, and then he was like, "No, fuck you, Nick Khan's the guy."
Let's not forget that when like Triple H got sick, Vince McMahon did everything in his power to undo every single thing Triple H has done.
Exactly.
Yeah. So like,
it didn't get better until that started to get reversed.
Dude, the documentaries that we're gonna get on this from WWE Films or whatever in like 10 years when Vince is dead is going to be so juicy. Juicy.
I haven't liked what they've been putting out lately, but I think a lot of other people have enough ammunition to do something good. Like, that Ric Flair doc was not great either.
It was bad. Yeah. It was so bad.
I haven't even watched it.
I watched it.
I just keep seeing clips of him talking about how much he drinks. That's about it.
I mean, there's no new information really, and then like there's a bunch of stuff in there that's like really like we all kind of know it's not true.
Didn't they ESPN just did one on him in like 2019 or 2020?
Yeah, I think it was 2018, but yeah, they did a 30 for 30.
It was like a 30 for 30 presents. It was like a full documentary.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And like, they literally, it's recycled shit. It's just the same. It's like, why would you? And so close together. Like, and I thought for sure, like, because they had a lot of the ad-free folks in there. I was like, oh, Conrad's going to be in here. They're going to talk a little bit about his last match. Maybe WWE will give him some shine for that. And it's just like, it literally goes like bad. And then we're going to wrap it up with like he's still Ric Flair, blah, blah, blah. And with this montage of like, well, we all still love him, even though all this terrible, it's like it was so poor, like as this documentary, it was so poorly storyboarded. Like it's literally like, oh, he did a bunch of weird party things. He got really famous. Life got really shitty. His kid died. He's really sad. He drinks all the time. He has health problems. We all love Ric Flair. And it was like, what? Like,
I mean, it focused on the retirement in WWE and then like glanced at anything else that he did after that.
They didn't mention his match in TNA against Ric Flair where they were just bloody as fuck within 5 minutes.
None of those things.
None of those. And like the fact of the matter is, apparently, so Conrad was interviewed for it. Apparently, a lot of other people were too, and it just didn't make the cutting room floor. And it was like left hand not talking to the right. And there was all that controversy over what Eric Bischoff supposedly said that Ric Flair saw. And it's not even in the documentary. It didn't even make the actual fucking thing. And it was all over social media and shit. So it's like clearly nobody was steering the ship on this. I have a feeling that it had something to do with all that fucking debacle bullshit over the man and somebody seeing, hey, how can we monetize a situation with Ric Flair and settle this all at the same time because Charlotte's coming back. And so we're going to do a documentary and kind of try and like do some
And
sort
they
of
don't even
celebratory
touch
bullshit.
the plane ride. They don't even touch it.
Well, fucking of course not. Like
I feel like that's how you redeem yourself.
Yeah, I
but
think
don't
that was
know.
just like to make Ric Flair happy. Like, all right, we'll put out this little documentary.
Yeah, it sucked.
Yeah, it was real
not
bad.
good.
Did y'all also hear that Laurinaitis was scheduled to make a WrestleCon appearance? For the
Yes,
first time
I
since he
did.
got over WWE, and the backlash was so bad that they fucking pulled his ass off of it.
Oh
Wait,
my
who? What?
God.
What?
John Laurinaitis.
Oh.
He was supposed to be at WrestleCon during WrestleMania weekend, and the backlash from the fans that were supposed to be attending was so fucking negative that they pulled him off of it.
Yeah.
I think
Blackball that guy.
yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, no one wants him here. Like,
Everyone hates Johnny Ace.
He cannot sit with us, man. He's out. He's out of the group. He's out of the group. End of discussion.
I just think it goes hand in hand with like you said, Daniel, the court of public opinion, which can't be denied. I mean, like,
no, it really does matter. And that's the thing too. That's why I honestly think that like the whole Vince McMahon thing, it's like, I'm sure in legalese he has every right. And I think that he all of it looks right, but public perception really does matter. And believe it or not, I think that literally if it could go down to a Supreme Court level, but at this point, WWE itself is almost Americana. Like it's got like that hold on society and like culture that it's like a part of American culture. Like even though pro wrestling has been happening forever, like WWE is like the benchmark of this product. It's the modern day Barnum and Bailey's. It's a living circus with humans instead of animals. That's what it is. And so it's like there's no way he wins a lawsuit, even if he's completely right legally to the letter. There's no way he wins. They'll just put it in litigation. They'll delay it. We'll get blurbs.
Jeff
We'll get
Hardy's
headlines.
DUI
We'll have
case.
shit to talk about. And then like nothing will ever happen. And all of a sudden it'll be Vince McMahon died today at TMZ. He was 98 years old or whatever, like still fucking bench pressing 285 every day. Like that's what's going to happen. Like,
yep. That's just kind of the inevitable end of it. It's just one of those deals where it's like, if you're a shareholder currently, and especially if you have like a lot of shares, you got to be kind of livid just at the entire, you know what I mean? Like at the entire idea of the whole fucking thing. And especially now that he came out saying that he just got bad advice about not coming back or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Decision too early. It's like, what a moronic fucking thing to say. But then again, we're looking at the same guy who, to be honest,
bad look. Yeah. Like
Vince has never been great on TV that wasn't WWE TV. Never.
Oh yeah,
Vince has always been a look at my dick guy, though. You know what I mean? Like he's he's always just controversy first. Like he's always confrontation first.
Yeah,
like he wants to fight all the time.
I think
all
I
the
was
time.
your tone, lady.
yeah.
Shit like that. It's fucking so just silly to me. But I mean, at the end of the day, and this is another thing that you see going around on the internet a whole bunch, and it is true. Like, there is only one Vince McMahon, and like that can mean a whole lot of things. And I'm not saying it's all positive, but no one else comes close in terms of accomplishments in the business. And like,
oh no, he is the businessman. He is the business.
The entire idea of any of what we're talking about existing does revolve around basically what he did. I mean, that's just the truth. And as much as I don't like that it's the truth, it's the truth.
Yeah.
Yep, just like old piece of shit Terry Bollea. If it wasn't for him, wrestling wouldn't be at the level it is today. So
this is the other funny thing about it, because we talk about the Ric Flair doc where basically he just talks about how many times he should have died and like all this other stuff. You talk about Hogan, who everybody kind of knows the scuttlebutt, the controversies that have occurred over time. Now you got this whole thing with Vince. And it's like, how many more of the most legendary top, like crazy next level stars of this stupid thing that we all love so much can just be in that super fucked up hot seat before like it gets buried again cyclically?
Yeah.
And it's just hard to find wrestling anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's going to happen. Because I think it's because of like, no matter what, WWE will always be in the public lexicon. It might get smaller, but it'll be like pro baseball. I mean, pro baseball was massive in the 90s. Now it's like, oh yeah, baseball's still a thing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But then you look at it and there's still thousands of people at every game and you're like, what?
Yeah, and they
like,
still make
know
more
anybody
money
that watches
than
baseball.
like any fucking sport ever.
Right. Like that's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, So I don't think it ever goes away. Like, and people talk about like, oh, the business has only been around for 100 years or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, but dude, it's so ingrained in the lexicon. And you want to know why? Is because people like violence, but they love controlled violence. They love controlled violence. Like, that's why I think MMA, it will crash and burn at some point. Someone's going to die and it will end. It will end. Yeah. Like, that's what's going to happen. And like, after that, pro wrestling is going to boom. Like,
but think about it. MMA really did crash because it was super big in like the mid 2000s, and it's not even fucking close to what it used to be.
That's not accurate at all. It's bigger now than it's ever been. Ever.
Really?
Like, their pay-per-view prices up again to like $80 a show.
Yeah. No, they're making more money. They make more
up with that shit.
The UFC right now makes more money than the WWE does. Hands down.
I didn't think people really watch UFC like that anymore.
Tons and tons of people did. Tons.
I just don't know any stars anymore.
Tons of normies watch MMA. Tons of normies watch MMA.
That's crazy. I just really didn't think it was still popping like that. Like, I'll see stuff every once in a while, but it's like maybe there's not like any huge mainstream stars anymore because besides
it's
like
almost
Conor
like a perfect.
McGregor.
I feel like MMA is kind of like the perfect example of like what Jim Cornette and Jim Ross and like these old school guys say, where there's like they're great in the ring, but like they don't have it. Like, they can it's literally like MMA to me is like nothing but Dean Malenko's and Zack Sabre Jr.'s, and you're like, oh, that's great. I love that. But there's no stories. Like, and when they get promos, it's dog shit bad.
Yeah,
like,
they're not
stop watching, right? Like, you'd stop watching. Like,
the in-ring talent are not the ones that are selling the fights. It's the brand and the product that are selling the fights. It's like the live experience.
But they should be. The fighters should be selling the fights too. It should be both. Like, every now and then you'll get a guy that just like, to me, Conor McGregor is bigger than any wrestler alive today. Like, Conor McGregor is more well known than Roman Reigns or John Cena, even, I would say at this point.
Not John Cena. I don't know about that.
I forgot about the actor part of it. Yeah. Well, he's been in movies and all that stuff. I would say it's like Roman Reigns is who else is that? Could you think of a wrestler that is more famous than Conor McGregor that's just a wrestler?
A modern pro wrestler? No.
Any
like old school guys? Yes, but not any like modern guys.
I think Conor McGregor today is probably more famous worldwide, not just in the wrestling world, but worldwide, than Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Nah, Stone Cold. There's no way.
I think Conor McGregor worldwide is more famous.
Even random fucking young kids who shouldn't know who Stone Cold is know who Stone Cold is.
Yeah, but we are also in a little bit of a bubble. You know what I mean? Like,
we are also marked. I'm saying, like, in the normie world, in the NPC world, Conor McGregor is way more. I would say way more famous. Way more famous.
You also have to look. I mean, like, why do you think, in my opinion, and I mean, I know that they've had like in-ring success too, but why do you think the Paul brothers are so fucking well known?
Yeah,
it's the same thing.
Yeah,
like it's literally just the advent of like social media clips, talking shit, and them trying to sell their fights and being outlandish to do so.
Both Jake and Logan Paul are more famous than Roman Reigns, for sure.
Yeah,
which is crazy because
it's insane. It's insane. But it's also kind of great.
It's crazy. Like, a lot of these YouTube guys are more famous because everybody has access to YouTube and not everybody has fucking cable.
Also, not everybody has the attention span for fucking 3 hours on a Monday night and 2 hours on a Friday night, another 2 hours on a Tuesday night.
Yeah, versus a 10 to 15 minute video, you know?
But this is also why I don't think it goes away ever, pro wrestling. Because of, like, you get a guy like Logan Paul that comes in and he's kind of fucking good. Like, and then you're like, but he's not. It's not like he's doing his YouTube or his podcast shtick. Like, he's pro wrestling. You know what I mean? Like, so to me, it's like that. If you can, even if someday it becomes like almost like the surreal life, where it's just B-list celebrities popping in with like a handful of regular wrestlers, like, but it's just so mainstream, like the Kim Kardashians, like walking somebody down the aisle. You know what I mean? Like that's. If that happens, like it will never go away as a art form, and I think the brand of WWE is Coca-Cola of that at this point. Like, it's just not ever going away.
Yeah, I mean, I never meant to say that I thought it was going to go away. I just think that, like, we've seen the business cyclically go through periods of time where it was nowhere on the same amount of radar, in the sense of like ratings, top talents, even being able to pay for celebrity guests and things like that. If you look at the early 90s, it's probably the first prime example of that after Vince's takeover. Then if you look at like the Ruthless Aggression era and stuff, there are some pretty heavy fucking lull periods during that.
Oh, for sure.
You know, I think a lot of people fucking stopped watching, and it dropped down to a point where it's like I'm not saying the future of the company was in jeopardy, but it does become a different thing to where there's not as many newsworthy bits. There's not as much stuff for people to talk about. And there aren't like big arena shows with celebrities in Saudi fucking Arabia. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the kind of shit I wonder about.
Yeah. But see, to me, it's like, I actually think that pro wrestling itself is in a lull. Like, I think that we're in like the social lexicon. Like, I think we're down now. I think that, again, because the UFC is more popular now. I think that's what I mean. Like, I think that that's what it's going to take, and I think it's going to be sooner than later. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and make a bold statement. Within the next 5 years, someone in MMA on a high level, maybe not necessarily UFC, but on a high level, is going to die. And if that happens, MMA will take a nosedive. It will.
I can see it.
I don't want it to happen. I'm not trying to wish that on anyone.
And just like you were saying, regardless if like it's just as popular as mainstream, like you said, the art form will never die. You're gonna have fucking your Centerville, Tennessee local wrestling every week, regardless, no matter what, all throughout the country like that.
The South will keep it alive, baby. We'll keep it burning.
Because in those little small towns like that, that's what you do on a Friday. Like that's what there is to do.
I prefer going to those shows than most other live wrestling shows anyway. Like
most of the time,
small stuff. I like I like the more rad indies for sure, like your New Souths and Sups and things like that. SCI, all that fun shit. But like even those little like in the sticks shows to me are much more fun just because of the involvement.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the fans get so into it. It's like Stadium Inn was. The Stadium Inn fans were fucking those old ladies were so into it.
Rabid.
Loved it. And
they'd be in the wrestler's face with middle fingers like inches away from their face, going like, "Fuck you, motherfucker!"
Bro, I wrestled at the livestock auction building in Columbia, Tennessee, in the early 2000s. So I can tell you about the Vout. Like it's real, and like those people, they were like, "We don't watch that fake shit WWF. We come down here and we see real wrestling in the South."
Yeah.
I'm like.
100%.
Okay, I'm 120 pounds and I'm getting like chokeslammed by a dude with a fucking blonde mullet and it's 2004. But sure, this is the real stuff, Like what?
Yeah, that's like when I worked at Rite Aid near downtown. I had a guy talk to me. He's like, "Yeah, Stadium Inn." He was like, "Jeremiah Plunkett tried to hit my son," and I was like, "Oh yeah, he's he's having funny bad guy." And he's like, "No, he really was, and if he does, I'm gonna whip his ass." I was like, I'm pretty sure he's not trying to hit your son, and this dude was convinced that he was going to whoop Plunkett's ass. He was super convinced, and I was like, "All right, man, whatever." But people who
there's only so many places that you can watch a guy try to jump off a turnbuckle, ram his head into the ceiling. You know what I mean?
Yes. Oh, yes. Great.
But it's so glorious when it happens. It's like, to me, I feel like people compare like pro wrestling to like music a lot, like musicians and like the different tiers of venues that way. But to me, it's a lot more like stand-up comedy, whether it's, where it's like there's the club level, then there's the theater level, and then there's the arena level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the club level is like Centervilles and like, open mics and like that kind of thing. And then you got the theater level, kind of like the GCW Impact, kind of like there are eyes. If you want this product and you really love it, you can see this. And then there's the arenas, there's the Netflix specials, those kind of things. And that's the WWE. Like to me, but there's different styles. Like you will not see a Netflix special with a guy doing a bunch of crowd work. Like it's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with pro wrestling. Like they don't do a bunch of those, like, even when you go to like not just like in the South, like if you go to like an upstate like New York indie show, like there's so much crowd work. Like there's so much. I mean,
it's just a much more theatrical endeavor, artistically speaking. It just
it's more intimate, and you have to. It's like you're that close, you have to do that, or it's just gonna be fucking boring and lame if you're just not working the crowd and they're that close to you and you can hear like actually everything they're saying.
I will say, speaking of some of those mid-level ones, though, old MLW, I'm starting to get convinced that Court Bauer listens to the podcast because they just announced that they're signing Akira.
Yeah,
they got Akira and Alex Kane. If they sign,
Gotch Bros are next.
Yeah, if they sign Jaden or the Gotchas, then he's a fan. He must be.
Well, you got 3 writers that are great here that we can, even though we're about to end season 5, so we'll have some free time. We can write your show. It'd be great. We'd be really good at it, I'm sure. We love your roster, by the way.
I am looking forward to seeing Blood and Thunder. I think that there's going to be a lot of sleepers. Davey Boy Smith Jr. versus our boy Alex Kane. I mean, come on, like that's good. And Billy Starks is debuting, and she just worked AEW as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like,
and she just worked Japan, so yeah, she's been
He's getting up there,
He's been
dude.
out there.
Yep.
Yep.
That's one of them.
Yeah, and my first ever time doing commentary, right? Me and you, Jesse, we called a match of hers.
That was
the second
the
time?
second show, yeah.
Second show, yeah, because that also show had Alex Kane, Brian Pillman Jr. sandbagging.
Yeah, that would have had Ace Austin, too.
Ace Austin, yeah, and literally all these wrestlers, everybody was nice, shook hands, talked, except for Brian Pillman Jr. He was being a cool guy.
Oh, he's so cool.
Captain
He's so
Ice
cool.
Cold, baby.
Yeah,
Ice cold.
sandbagging the other wrestlers, not talking to everybody in the back, just brushing his mullet in the corner.
One of them.
Ugh, man. Okay, listen, we got to do a little bit more fantasy booking here before we get out of here. So we're talking about the Royal Rumble. I know we're going to bunny trail back to that. Cody Rhodes, I think that he might be in the Rumble. Okay, listen, I like Jesse's idea, and so let's run with that. Like maybe he comes to the Rumble, he's not even in the Rumble. He gets a bigger match or whatever, and like that's what he does, right? So he's not in the Rumble. There's been a lot of speculation and a lot of talk about Sami Zayn and like the Daniel Bryan similarities, and like the world is behind Sami Zayn right now. Does Sami Zayn win the Royal Rumble to face Roman Reigns in the main event? Does that happen?
That would be amazing. I would love that.
The only reason I think that it might not happen is because I don't feel like WWE brass feels like the Zayn bloodline thing has run its course yet. I think that
I agree.
They can get more juice out of that without having the turn happen now. Plus, you don't have to have that happen at Mania for it to be a huge deal.
I agree. And I think they need more. Yeah. But then to me, I don't think Roman Reigns loses and then you get as big of a payoff with Sami. You see what I'm saying?
It depends on what he loses.
That's true. That's true. I really do like the idea of him losing one belt. I love that idea.
The other one, and then he does some big thing at Mania, God knows against who, and like whatever. And like, you know, we all know Cody's a fan of setting up those fucking like best of 3 series type matches and shit like that. And we could end up getting that program run its course throughout the first half or the first 2/3 of the year, you know, in terms of the bigger shows.
No matter what, no matter who gets the belt or whatever, I'm just hoping that they change the designs of the titles or switch it up a little bit because I'm tired of this goddamn big old W logo. It's a horrible belt.
It's a bad belt.
It sucks.
Yeah, I agree.
Like bring back the big gold or just make a new design that's like maybe more modern but still have some old school vibes.
Remember when you just had good championship belts? Like do that. I think the idea of too like putting your actual logo, like I don't like the worst part of the AEW title belt is like this awesome like elegant traditional belt and then the AEW modern title like right in the middle. Like just put like a world with like some lions or something. You know, like you don't like you the AEW is on the map. It's on everything else. Like you don't I don't like. That's the only thing I don't like. Same thing with WWE does is like the fucking worst part. The whole thing is the logo. Like that's
why
thing.
It's just so gaudy and just ugly.
It's so gaudy. I agree. But
best belt right now, design wise, is that All Atlantic Championship. That is such a pretty belt.
The UK Championship, I think, was one of the best ones the WWE's ever had. Beautiful.
It essentially was like that same outline design, just with more detail. It was
yeah. Which would be fun. I don't mind the angle of like almost like almost like a home plate type.
Yeah, no,
I don't mind the angle of it. That's cool.
You can do a lot with that. It's just wide.
I agree.
Remember when they first came out with the belt, it was like, oh, it was made by West Coast Choppers or West like.
And I also want the nameplate back too. I think that's important. Like I know that even though my favorite belt of all time, the Winged Eagle, did not have the nameplate, I like the nameplate. I think it's cool.
Yeah, I don't like the side plates.
I don't like the side plates at all.
Side plate thing's stupid. They look like some fucking karate fighter shit from the early 90s.
It looks Lego-y. Like you can tell that like they're changing. Like it should be reverent. It shouldn't be a trinket that you can swap out the hubcaps on. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like
right.
It's ridiculous. But you know what? What do I know? Okay, listen. Last question, right? Because I think that those are the two big ones. So let's get some takes here, right? Sami Zayn is the argument from all the marks could win. Cody, obviously, whatever. Give me somebody out of nowhere that would kind of make sense.
I just don't know when. There's a lot of people that are on that roster that I'm not sure when they're due back from injuries. So I don't really know. You know what I mean? I could see them running with a Kevin Owens, even though I think at this point that's not the right idea.
Okay.
But you know, I could see it happening for sure.
Solid choice, though. Solid choice.
You know, I wish Big E was due back because honestly, I could totally see that being a thing. But I think he's got a while to go.
I don't think he's going to wrestle again. I think he's done.
He may not. which is unfortunate because I fucking love that dude. But
oh, absolutely. But he had a great run. I mean, he actually got the belt too. I mean, he had a great run.
Oh, of course he did.
Man, I would say Seth Rollins, but he just got hurt. Just hurt his knee again.
I know,
which is unfortunate because he was on a fucking tear. He was awesome.
One of the best year he's had since the Authority, bar none. Best year he's had since the Authority.
Fucking Styles is hurt now.
Yeah, Styles is hurt.
First ever surgery, but it's still going to be
first surgery ever.
Yeah.
He said it wasn't going to be surgery.
Oh no, it's not going to be surgery, but it was his first break he's ever.
But it's still going to be like 9 months or something.
Yeah, it's still going to be a long time.
Yeah.
Man, there's not. Think about it. WWE is kind of low on superstars that could do it. Randy Orton's got a back injury. They said he's probably not coming back anytime soon.
I mean, Ciampa's got to be due back at some point, right?
He's not.
But that's not world title. He's not ready for the world title scene.
No, he's not. But I think he could probably elevate a mid-carder, though. I mean,
he'd be a nice surprise. He'd be a nice one of those 3 randos that we're talking about. They never win, and they shouldn't.
Yeah.
I would like to see old Finn Balor back in the main event scene.
That wouldn't be bad. I wouldn't hate that.
I'll tell
you, fucking. I know they're not going to do it, but I think it would be awesome if they brought Sean Waltman in this year
for the Rumble.
Yeah,
he's cleared.
Yeah, I think it would be really cool.
That would be cool.
Can you imagine if that fucking DX music hit in the middle of the fucking Rumble?
Is it going to be the DX music or the Bow X-Pac?
Well, that's what I mean. His era DX music, like his theme, but that era. Certainly not Uncle fucking Crax
when you're really hungry.
Yeah. Oh, it would straight up be DX. It would be the old school DX theme. That's what they would do. It's Royal Rumble. They're going to use his most iconic theme. He would be a great one-off too. That'd be a great surprise. People would love it. He comes in, gets his shit out with I don't know, LA Knight or whoever's in the ring,
Bring
and just
PJ Polacco, get your boy from NXT and do a X Factor reunion.
No, absolutely not. I'm hardly opposed to that.
Disco Inferno.
No thanks.
No thanks. There's a lot up in the air, by the way, about Big Show's contract with AEW. It's been very quiet, and rumor has it he didn't even sign a full year. So it could be Big Show, and I feel like that'd be solid. I wouldn't hate it.
Khan to just dust him back off over to the old E. They're not using him for jack shit.
Yeah, and it's like,
you know what I mean? Let
him go. Let him be nostalgic.
They're money off of him.
Yeah, and
he still does commentary though on one of the dark shows, right?
Yeah, but I mean,
I wouldn't know. That's my point.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's just not being utilized, which is the story of his entire career. But for me, I'm going The Rock, guys. I think it's gonna be The Rock. I think The Rock is gonna win the Royal Rumble.
Ugh.
I mean, you say ugh, but it would be badass. It would be badass. And honestly, the program would be really good leading to Mania, especially with Zayn involved. It would be so good. With
Zayn involved, yes. I just don't really, and I know everybody knows Rock can fucking pull a lot out of his hat and stuff, but and I'm not trying to shit on Roman. I just have no interest in seeing that match in the ring. I just don't it. Just doesn't strike me as though it would be good.
It would be phenomenal.
I don't know.
I don't understand how you say that. I'm did you forget that The Rock was good in the ring?
I know he was good in the ring, but I'm saying if he stages a comeback and goes against Roman, I just don't think stylistically that the two of them are going to be able to put on the level of whatever everybody thinks is going to be.
I fully disagree. But that's why we have this podcast.
Old ass Hulk Hogan and The Rock can do it. In shape, The Rock and Roman Reigns can do it.
You're talking about a fucking metaverse of difference with that match, and just the circumstances surrounding that time frame in the business.
Not that different, honestly. It's really not now. Different. We're just old.
We're just old now, and we were younger then.
Hogan and Rocky had two guys that could just look at the crowd one way, and it was a fucking eruption. Rock and Roman, you have one that can definitely do it, and one that only sometimes has the same kind of reaction. Only sometimes.
At Mania against The Rock, though,
but he's going to be mega heel. They're going to boo the fuck out of him.
Oh, yeah, agreed. I know, I see what you're saying, Jesse, and I agree. It's not like The Rock or Hogan could have done that with pretty much anybody on the roster in 2002 and gotten the same kind of crowd reaction for sure. I see what you're saying, and Roman can't do that with everybody, but with The Rock at Mania, I think he could definitely fill that role. Definitely.
I also have no fucking interest in seeing The Rock in a title match at Mania. Just because it doesn't make any fucking goddamn sense at all.
Of course it does. If they put on an amazing match and he loses, it's great. It's great.
I don't know.
It's bad if he wins, though. I will agree. If The Rock wins, that's bad.
One thing we may get to see in the Royal Rumble, because I'm almost positive Stone Cold's going to be in the Rumble. He's been posting training videos like every day for like the past 2 to 3 months.
I mean, everybody.
He's not just getting. He ain't getting in this.
And he respects the business too, man. Like it's in his. I mean, dude, like that dude does nothing but gush over pro wrestling, and he's a massive celebrity. And like he will not come. He would not do it at all if he was not ready to go in the ring.
Right. Oh yeah, totally.
So and they've been teased it. They even teased it on Young Rock, Roman versus Rock.
How can you not do the match? It has to happen at some point. And if it's going to happen, now is the time. Now is the time. The Rock is not getting any younger.
Yep.
And
Black Adam didn't do that well. He'll have some time off. He ain't doing shit with DC for a while. He's been kicked off of that whole thing.
Yeah, apparently
he's probably going to join Marvel.
Stage a fucking coup, and they weren't having that shit.
Yeah.
He's probably joining the Marvel universe. It's going to happen.
Yeah, but I don't know, though, because think about this. The Rock has never had a movie with a big director because he wants to control everything. Think about that. He's only ever made movies with, like, random whoever, so his team can come in and run shit. And Marvel,
he did a lot of those Fast and Furious movies, and he had no control over that.
There's like 47 of those. He didn't have anything.
He was only in, like, 2 of them.
I don't know.
There's like 12.
I think he was only in, like, 2, and then he got the spin-off.
They're doing 10. Like, 10's going to be, that's like F10 or whatever is like the last one.
The last one I saw was Tokyo Drift.
The last one I saw that I remember was the first one, the very first one.
Tokyo Drift. I'll never forget that one because the kid from Home Improvement is like the first racer in the movie.
Oh yeah,
the oldest kid from Home Improvement.
Yeah, the one that like has beat up like 5 girls now. He's the worst. By the way, I love that we're like just bunny trailing here because I'm just now rewatching Home Improvement for the first time. It's a great quality sitcom.
Oh no, dude! When I had no cable and I had an antenna, I watched the fuck out of Home Improvement, dude.
Great quality sitcom.
It's a good show. Hey, we agree on something.
And so is also a no cable Third Rock from the Sun. I watched that whole show.
I used to fucking love Third Rock from the Sun.
Yeah, they're aliens. It was fucking great. I never watched it before.
I don't think so.
Levitt was great. French Stewart was great. They were all 4 of the principals are great. And John Lithgow, like you can put him in anything.
Yeah, he is great. He is great. And Gordon Joseph Levitt's great. Probably best child actor of all time.
Oh yeah, that 70s show. I watched that also with no antenna, and that was a good one too. Up until a certain point.
Have you seen the trailer for that 90s show, the Netflix trailer?
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen the trailer. I heard they're all coming back. The trailer
looked like. I wasn't even that like I've seen enough of it. Like I've never watched every episode. I've never binged that 70s show, but I watched it like on TV when it was on, like around that time.
Yeah, me too.
And so like it was it was never my favorite, but like I liked it. It was okay. But seeing that like Netflix, it looks like the show is going to be really good. It looks like it's going to be really good.
Yeah, I think everybody's coming back except for what's his name who got the rape charge.
The raper, yeah.
What's his name? It was Hyde.
Yeah. Danny Masterson, yeah.
Which sucks because he was a great character.
Danny Raperson.
Yeah, he was a great character, but was what it was.
Yes, indeed.
Well, boys, now that we've talked about some rapists to end the show, I think it's a great time to just sign off here, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
So you can always find the show at kayfabecom. It's pretty much on TikTok and Twitter, and then kayfabecom pod on TikTok, and then kayfabecom on Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah.
My bad. Are we making TikTok still? Are we doing that?
I haven't because my old job, I had time to make them, and now I got to work a lot more. So
we also haven't done a show in 2 weeks.
That's true.
Yeah,
it's been 2 weeks. So thanks for hanging out, guys. We did a full show for you though, and I like this format, by the way. Like the games are fun sometimes, but this is great. I love just bullshitting, and now we're just talking about stuff that we actually like, which is fun. Yeah, you can always find the show. Just find the show. If you're here, you're already fucking listening anyway. So just tell a friend. Subscribe to the show. That's the best thing you can do. You like share it and send it in a message. Like just
call a buddy,
your
tell
podcast
a friend.
app, send us in a text message to someone else and be like, "Hey, check the show out." That does more for the show than anything else possibly could. So do that. I'm super excited for the Royal Rumble. I swear to God, I'm gonna get back into wrestling gear. I'm starting to miss it now. This was a great refresher. Man, you can always find me at Daniel Daybreak everywhere. You can find at the Far Between Band, my brand new band that is about to put out our first single this year. It's 2023. This is our coming out year. We got a brand new music video. It's going to be awesome. Follow the Far Between Band on all your social media platforms. And Mr. Jesse Baker, where can folks find you?
You can find me at Jesse Baker Nash on Instagram and Twitter, regular old Jesse Baker on Facebook, and you should send us all of your best raps about Jeff Jarrett and Kurt Angle's ex-wife.
Love that. Please do that. Yes.
That was good shit.
Focus on you.
You can always find your boy Wex at Wex Breaking the Lawson on all of your social media platforms. You know, I'll be popping up on there every now and then, you know, tweeting about wrestling, maybe some Titans, the Grizzlies, something like that. But Tennessee Titans this Saturday. We got to get that win to win the division, make it the playoffs. But if we lose, we're going to get a top 10 draft pick. So it's a win-win situation.
And they got old Dobbs. I hope they
got
him.
Balls legend Josh Dobbs.
Resign him. Resign him now. Resign him now. He's already showed me enough. He's better than Malik. He's younger. He's younger than Tannehill. Sign him. Sign him now.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he should be the guy next season, but he should be at least given a chance in training camp.
Oh, he can at least be a bridge quarterback till we get a better draft pick the next year. Like
Tannehill should be gone. I'd rather have Dobbs start next year and still have another rebuilding year. If that's what you're doing, that's fine. Tannehill's got to go.
Yeah. At this point, I think he's too old. I think he probably ain't going to come back from that ankle injury. And Dobbs has never really got a chance to really do anything. So I'm definitely looking forward to that this Saturday. But, yeah, hollering out at your boy Wex.
Word. We'll see you guys next week. We're out.
Peace. Yep.